Hi folks, this is part two. Yesterday I showed you building this and using it. I ended up taking my big chain making pliers, and I used that to open up 3 holes on each side. The little briquettes that are the fire starter, I want to go with the kind that look like a little bitty bale of hay. Those things are a lot faster and hotter, and I think fast and hot would give me a quicker light on the hire. This will hold, I think I've got 12 coals, but it's over here, and I have 5 on the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 around the bottom. Now, it's not setting on any coals. This is the bake system I'm trying. It's obviously a cast iron Dutch oven for campfires. But it's not Lodge. Everything I've got's Lodge. But Lodge doesn't make a 1 quart anymore, and I wanted a 1 quart because of the size. So this is a Petromax, which is a German brand, but it's actually made in China. Little tiny. Everything says Germany on here, but there was a little paper that said it made in China. It's it's got a tall lid on it, much taller than what Lodge does. This part down here is just shy of 1 liter. The top part is, I think, I forget exactly how much it was, but it's fairly deep. You could put a half a cup of water in there, I'm pretty sure. So I think it said it was 1/4 of a liter for this. But this right here, it fits my loaf of bread, my sourdough. I want a finished loaf of sourdough to be a little bit bigger than a grapefruit. And my Lodge 2 quart was just too big to carry around. It had a much bigger pan. If you use a Lodge campfire Dutch oven, you probably have been to Tractor Supply and picked up the metal feed pan, and that's what you use for most Dutch oven cooking. But this right here is I was looking for a 1 quart. Lodge stopped making them, and so you can't get one. But when they were making them, I would expect them to be about $50 in that range. This day and time. This one here, it was 60. If you try to find, if you can get a Lodge one now, you can buy them on eBay, and they're $350 or over. It's crazy. I wasn't about to pay that. I've been using this as you would use a regular Dutch oven, camping Dutch oven. Is you put most of your heat on the top if you want to bake. 2/3 of your coals on top, 1/3 on the bottom is the general kind of rule of thumb. And if you have a 10-inch, for example, a 10-inch Dutch oven, which is a common size, then you would double that number, that's 20, and then put 2/3 of them on the top and 1/3 of them on the bottom. This right here, I haven't measured it, but it looks like it's about a 6-inch. The Lodge 2 quart is an 8-inch. It's the number 8, so you always work with the number 16 on your charcoal. This right here, the instructions said 5 on top, 3 on the bottom, which that would be a 4-inch, and there's no way this is a 4-inch. So my new fire starter, a charcoal chimney, will do 12 charcoals. Now, these are the cheapest charcoal I could find when I went to Walmart. That Walmart had 2 brands, I think, and I got the cheaper of the 2. Uh, I'll use these, and then I'll go back to using Kingsford, and we'll see what the difference is. But anyway, I've been using a hook. Um, if you get interested in doing Dutch ovens, get one. Lodge makes these things. These things right here look great. And the way you do it to bake is you turn that a quarter of a turn, and then you turn that a quarter of a turn in the opposite direction. And you do that every 15 minutes. Now, I've been in here for at least an hour. I'm going to take a really quick peek at my loaf. It's not done. It's getting there though. And that one was a little too big and a little too dry. I should not have added water to that one. I added a quarter of a cup of water, and I didn't put enough flour in it to dry that out adequately. So this would have been a loaf about, it would have been 7 inches wide across and probably about maybe 2 inches tall. That's what happens when you get too much water in your dough. If you want a taller loaf of sourdough, you want to add flour until it gets so it's not sticky on your hands. And it was still sticky this morning, but I was ready to be out and about, and I knew this would probably be a sacrificial loaf anyway. But so we're getting there. I'm going to, it'll stay heating like this. I believe it's probably fully baked now just from the looks of it, but I like a nice hard crust. I want to have to use a saw to get through that outer crust. A saw blade kind of knife. It needs to be a serrated knife. A regular knife would never go through this, of course. It needs a good knife to be able to cut through that hard crust. That's how I like my sourdough. So I may have to, I don't know. I could probably add 2 more charcoals on top of that after it gets going and starts settling. I could also relight this with, say, a half a dozen bits of charcoal. I could do that when this has been cooking for a half an hour or so that I can add more to it. That'd probably be the best way to do it. But I don't have any wind here right now. What you're hearing is traffic noises. And I've got this in a Traeger grill right now. So anyway, this is going to work.